So let's find out which ones you do and you don't like. And we're going to start it off, Dean, tonight with a game I've played, and I know you've played, but I'm not so sure you've played the 2020 version of this. And that's
I have not.
Disney's Villainous, Perfectly Wretched. What's your experience with Disney's Villainous?
Some goods and some bads. So Villainous is a game that I like, but I've also introduced it to my family, which they're huge board gaming people. The first time I introduced it to them, we played a 6-player game with people that are not great at listening to rules. I love my family, but they just get, we get talking.
Six.
And it was a mess. It was about 2.5 hours of a lot of questions. But at the same time, one of my sisters actually bought the game and they play it with their family. They really like it a lot. But I like the game. I think it's cool. I've not played the newest expansion though. I've played I've got all the stuff here, but this one. So tell me about it.
Okay, but before we get started, both of us agree, thumbs up for Villainous, right? We both.
Yeah, one of my favorites of Disney board games, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So I love Villainous. I'm going to tell you, I don't like it with more than 3 people. I think it's a perfect 3-player game. You start getting 5 players. I can't even imagine playing at 6 like you did. But here's what's cool. The people at Funko who are doing they're the ones basically, Prospero Hall, who've been bought out by Funko. The Prospero Hall people are the ones that have been doing these Disney additions to the base game. And every one of them is thematic. And the first one, the one that came out this year is called Perfectly Wretched. I've got a shot of it there on the screen. And it's got, of course, the silhouette of one of the all-time best Disney villains, and that is Cruella de Vil. There's 3 people that come in this set, Dean, and that's kind of the way that they do those with the expansions, at least. The base game had 6, if I remember right. 6 or 8?
That's right. Yeah. Because you can play up to 6 players for that one. You can use all the factions.
I couldn't remember. And then after that, they've been coming out with these little 3 sets. So Cruella, of course, is the first one. I don't know. I got the Target version of this. It comes with a different front than I showed you because that was a picture of the box, but the actual slip is something really cool. It's got the Dalmatian dots on it. So I'm not sure if this piece is the one that comes with everyone. So I apologize out there, chat crew and Meeple Town people. I'm not sure if this is the one you get. You may get something slightly different. But if you get the Target version, each of those pieces, as you know, have those, what do they call them? The movers?
The little pawns, the tokens, movers?
I can't remember what they're called. But this one, it looks like the little coat with Cruella de Vil. And I really like Cruella de Vil's character in this one because what you're doing is you're trying to get the 99 puppies. And as a brief overview, Villainous turns the hero tales on its head, right?
Yes. Yeah.
You're actually playing the villain and you're playing against other villains and you're trying to finally be, the winner in a Disney movie, which never happens, right? But in this game, you're trying to collect 99 puppies before the other players complete their objective. And the puppies come out with these little 11s and 22s, and you're trying to get them over to the right place so that you can bring them over to this other place. Kind of a familiar mechanic, Dean, if you've played some of the other characters. It's just done differently with these different tokens. You're going to recognize all the familiar characters, from the movie itself. So Cruella de Vil, a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. My problem with this is I'm not caught up. So I own all the other stuff, but I just haven't played all the other expansions yet. But I love how every one of these feels so thematic to the villain that you're playing. I just think that's really cool. The Queen of Hearts, I think you mentioned that one earlier. That's one of my favorite ones because I just love the feel of how that one plays out. Yeah.
That one's got the little random chance with it, right?
Yes.
Vil has a little bit element of luck and chance with that, with flipping over the tiles. Or you can get the 1s or the 2s. They're 11s and 22s, but it's really 1s and 2s. You're trying to get 9 points of tiles or 99 points between them. But the other thing about them is it almost has a feeling like herding puppies because the puppies keep going on and off your board, on and off your board. Dean's, I'm moving them over, so getting close to where, and there's Dean sending them back. So it feels like the movie when you think about the animated feature. The puppies are all over the place, and she can never seem, Jasper and Horace. I think Jasper and Horace can never seem to corral. They're running up the stairs and doing things. that you get that same thematic feel with Cruella de Vil. So
That's cool. So would you recommend this, BJ? Is this one any more difficult than any of the other ones, or is it just throw it in there if you know Villainous? It's not gonna be too difficult.
I think Cruella's fine. I don't remember the order, but what's cool about the expansions, they order them. They usually come with a complicated one, a medium
Yeah.
one, and kind of a beginning one.
Mhm.
As we go through the three, I'll try to remember which one is the easier one. I'm just drawing a blank now. I should have looked that up. Thanks a lot, Dean. Here. So let's go to the next one. The next one is from a movie that I totally passed over. In fact, I never fully watched it until actually a couple of months ago. I always caught snippets of it as my little bugs would listen to it, or watch it. I would catch the start or the middle, but I never actually sat through the whole one. And that's Mother Gothel from Tangled. Have you seen Tangled, the movie?
It's one of the best Disney movies out there. It's really good.
I'm so impressed. But now, listening to snippets of it, it didn't excite me. Watching it from start to finish, I was super impressed. It's actually a great Disney movie.
Yep.
And the scene where they're in the boat and the lights are coming on for the first time and she finally recognizes what those things are and the music's playing in the background. Oh, man, that is a classic.
It is.
Disney season.
Yeah. I know several people, this is their favorite Disney movie. So I'm excited about this villain then.
Okay, hold on. Let's not go overboard, all right? It's a great movie, but it's not the best Disney movie.
Said there are people that I know. This is not my favorite Disney movie, but
Mother Gothel is a lot of fun. You are trying to get, as it starts here, you're trying to get the trust, of course, of Rapunzel, right? Yeah, Rapunzel.
Yep.
So you're trying to get those 10. Sort of kind of like a mixture of maybe Prince John trying to get 20 coins and a couple of other characters. But it's not like Prince John at all. No one can just watch you get to 17 or 18 and then just start tagging Prince John like everybody does.
He's probably my least favorite in the series, by the way.
Yeah, it's so straightforward. I mean, it's really hard to win from Prince John because everybody, especially in a multiplayer game, everybody just gangs up on you. Mother Gothel is a little bit more sneaky than that. It's 10 trust. And to get the trust, you have to kind of walk it down. So it's a lot of fun, very thematic. It's got some of the great art in the feature. So you're going to recognize all of the characters. And by the way, one of my favorite little areas, those little, not hidden, but one of my favorite little not so well-known areas, that new area between Liberty Square and Fantasyland. Have you seen the Tangled bathroom area? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I have not.
They redid the entrance underneath where the old Skyway was, and it had just been abandoned for years. They've completely redone all that over the last couple of years, and now it's a recreation of the town scene from Tangled, where the piano player with the one with the hook.
Yes, yeah,
it's that scene, and it's
that's cool.
You're perfect. Take your kids there. You're going to be amazed at how photogenic that little tiny area is there. It's just a bathroom. Okay. I don't want you to get so excited, but it's, if you're a Disney fan, you're going to go, wow, they really did a nice job with this bathroom. This is really nice. It's a fun little courtyard. So take a look at that.
That's great.
Mother Gothel. I like it. Mother Gothel, a little bit more complicated, less luck than Cruella de Vil. And last but not least, maybe my least favorite of the three.
Oh, no. I was really excited about this one.
Still interesting, and that's Pete. So Pete, here's why Pete's unusual, Dean. It's not one of the animated features. The first time that Funko has done, Prospero Hall has done this. It comes from the cartoons instead.
Right.
Does that signal that we might be starting to see things like, the Rescue Rangers or Pixar movies or something else coming? Maybe.
I kind of hope so, because I think there's some really, especially moving into that Pixar area. I guess that's a whole nother topic, but I've got a list in my mind of ones that I really want to see, and some of those are like the Turbo from Wreck-It Ralph is one I want to see, and the Syndrome from Incredible. Ooh. Another good one. So it'd be nice to see him moving outside of some of those main feature ones.
I like that Syndrome from The Incredibles, the first Incredibles. Oh, that would be pretty good. Yeah. So we might be seeing that. So as you can see, Pete's got the color scheme and everything, and that's his marker. The color scheme and everything that's got calls to mind the classic Disney cartoons of the 30s and 40s. The funny thing about Pete, and I think this is why I liked him the least out of the three, is he's got 4 goals, but they're all hidden. Other people don't know what your goals are. And if I remember right, you're trying to figure, it's been a while since I played Pete, right? Since right at the start of the pandemic. So I don't remember exactly, but I remember being a little irritated with those goals that you had kind of these little secret goals and you had to pick one that you were actually going to do. Nothing wrong with it. It's just, it wasn't my favorite out of the 3. The artwork is, it's not as interesting to me as some of the animated features. And I've never really been a fan of Pete. So.
Okay. That makes sense. Honestly, the artwork is why I'm so drawn to him, because it seems so different. Just that black and white theme that he has. I love that they went that route. I think that's really cool.
And it's the only time you can see Steamboat Willie right there, attacking you, as you can see from the screen. So it's, I gotta admit, it's, there's some things to it. Out of all of the 3 from this set, I've only played Pete once. So you know what? I'm not gonna have too much of an opinion on that. I need to try it more than that. As you well know, Villainous is a game that rewards multiple plays with the same character as you learn the strategy of how the character can best be used. Yeah,
so. And with people who know the game very well, because they know how all the other villains play out. I totally agree with that. Cruella de Vil, though, is one that I've heard a lot of people clamoring for a while. Right, she's been kind of at the top of the list of villains that people want to see. That's why I'm really intrigued to see what's coming next, because I feel like some of the really big ones that people, Scar, people that were really wanting these big name villains, I'd love to know what's going to be next. I'm excited for this, but I'm going to have to check this one out.
Yeah, they've got big names. Who do I want?
Yeah.
That's tough. They've done a lot of the people that I would want to do, Yzma from Emperor's New Groove,
oh, yeah.
They've done a bunch of people. I'd have to think about it. You have somebody like top of the list?
Turbo, I don't know why, but I think he's a pretty cool villain. And then to see some of the Pixar stuff sneaking in, I think that'd be really interesting, I think.
My favorite Pixar movie is Ratatouille, and I just don't know that the chef would be a good enough, central bad person, central villain. Yeah. The problem with the Pixar movies is a lot of them don't really have that major villain,
Especially the newer ones. You're absolutely right. Lotso would be a cool one, though, I think, from Toy Story 2.
Oh, yeah.
Is that right? The second Toy Story? Is that
3? Toy Story 3?
Maybe.
Toy Story 2 was the collector in Japan. He was trying to sell them to Japan. Right?
That's right. So that would be the Prospector Pete in that one, I guess. So yeah, it's the third one. Lotso the bear, I think would be really cool too.
Lotso the bear. Yeah, that's
maybe the best villain in Toy Story, perhaps.
Pretty good villain, but a lot of the villains are just not out and out. Just black and white. Old time Pete type villains. Think of Soul. I got to watch Soul this weekend, and there's no central villain in that. Who would you say the villain is in Soul? There's really no central villain, right?
Yeah, maybe himself. And, it's you can get really deep on that. Maybe you could have like from Inside Out the rage character who's not that's not really a villain though, but thinking outside the box.
I think it's funny with if you think through all the big time Pixar movies, there's never really that big central villain. Now, the villain from Jungle Book, I think, would be one that that I would want to see. Shere Khan would be somebody I'd want to see.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's still a lot of classics that we don't have villains for, and there's a ton. There's a ton of classics that we don't have villains for in this game yet.
I would think Gaston would probably be top of the list for most people, right?
Oh, that's right. Actually, so I made a list, BJ. I'm not going to go through all that. I would mention some of them, but Gaston is probably at the top of my list. That's the first one I put down on my list. So
yeah, Meeple Town listeners, if you were listening right now, you would see Johnny prepared over there with Dean with his list.
Frollo from Hunchback was another one I put on there, who's not, I don't think is in any of the sets, right? Have you seen Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Yes, and it's not in the set, no.
Okay, all right.
Scar is
this year, and I love.
You had mentioned Scar, but Scar is in the Be Prepared set.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Cruella and Scar are the ones that people really, really wanted, and then they came. So I was wondering, Gaston's another name that I heard a lot of people talk about.
I think, judging on his popularity at the parks and popularity with the movie, I think that Gaston would be up there. I'm BJ from Game Gumbo.
And I'm Dean from Meeple Town.
And until next time, Dean, laissez le bon temps rouler.
Thanks for coming down to Meeple Town.